Hello everyone, Videos at 30 back again with another deck review. Today we are looking at a vintage stud deck that I happened to come across at the local Salvation Army, and I was extremely surprised and ecstatic to come across this because I never in a million years thought I would find this, especially at a local thrift store. But I did. And it was just kind of a weird set of circumstances that got me there in the first place. I had ended up the day before on a Friday with something in my eye. I don't even know how it got there, obviously, probably through work. And I went to a local clinic and, I got it taken out and it was all good. And I left and I forgot my health card and or they forgot to give it back to me. Here in Canada, we have, of course, public health, government paid, that's tax paid. So we don't pay anything. We just got to show a health card most of the time when you go. A lot of the time you don't have to if it's just like a regular doctor visit. But if you go to the hospital or walk in, you got to show your card and you get the information, and it's all covered by the government, which is awesome, and Americans be jealous. Anyways, so I forgot my card, and then they called me back and they were closed already because it was in the evening when I went. And so the next day I went in to get it. And I went to Value Village because it's like right next door. Figured I'm here, I might as well. And there wasn't anything amazing there, just some casino decks. Actually, I think that's when I found there was a couple of decent ones. Like I found a Coca-Cola deck that I reviewed recently. And then I went to Salvation Army since it's on the way home. It's just like around the corner anyways, pretty much around the block. And I found this. I found, one or two other decent decks as well that I got. Casino deck, basically. And I saw this sitting there like this, and I'm like, oh, a stud deck. Cool. Not a big deal. Have it. Turned it around, and I'm like, what the hell? This is not just a stud deck. This is the stud deck. This is a very hard to find, well, fairly hard to find stud deck of cards. Vintage. Like I said, it's rare. It's obviously, not as common. Probably something they originally produced and then changed to the more common stud deck that everyone knows and loves. You can get these on eBay probably if you're lucky, but not cheap. And I got this for like $1 or whatever it was. I don't even remember. So I was like, holy crap, this cannot be legit. I thought I was going to get home and I was going to find something else in the deck. Case in point, that happened to me with a casino deck that I bought. I thought it was a local casino deck that I got from Value Village a couple of weeks back. And I open it up when I get home and it's a B deck. And I'm like, what the hell? But I got home and I opened it up. That was not the case. It was this deck. Steal of a lifetime. What a deal. So the front says finest quality, linen finish, stud, playing cards with 2 jokers, poker size, with some patent information, and the horse. They're all familiar with that, I think, if you're a card collector. It says distributed by Walgreens in Deerfield, Illinois on one side. Stud playing cards on the other. Stud on top. And proof of purchase with a barcode on the bottom. And in the back you see the gorgeous back design. And there is a seal that just simply says stud. It says vintage USB-C. Nice flap. You get to the cards, you get 2 jokers. They say joker in the corner, stud with the patent thing on the bottom with the horse. Little black ball in the opposite corners, made in USA on the bottom. You get 2 of them, identical. Maybe I should do reviews like this more often, from this side. The Ace of Spades, beautiful, with the horse in it. Says stud with the little patent thing, and Walgreens on the bottom. There's no code that says, what the date was when it was produced, but obviously I'm guessing 1970s or 80s. And then the court cards are Hoyle code cards. It is pretty interesting. I thought that to be pretty interesting. I don't remember what the other stud decks have. I think they have this like what's gonna call it? Streamline, like, you know, Arco code cards. I think these actually have Hoyle code cards, which is pretty interesting. And then the number cards are just straightforward standard. And then the backs, of course, gorgeous. Lots of detail, beautiful, vintage. I love it. I've been wanting to get one of these for so long. It was one of my white whales. I looked so many times on, not eBay. What's the other site that I usually use? I don't even remember the name. I don't care. But I've looked on, you know, different websites. Ruby Lane is another one. Etsy is the one I'm thinking. I've looked on Etsy many times. Ruby Lane. Can never find any of these. Oops. I have kind of blindly bought one or two stud decks in the past that looked like they could be potential this deck, but they weren't. They were just a standard stud deck in a more vintage tuck case. I don't know if there's any of these out there in red. I think I've only seen really blue. Actually, I think I've only seen blue. I don't think I've seen red. So I'm very happy about it. Handles very nice. It's a nice, very thin stock. Kind of like the crust stock they use nowadays. Maybe even thinner. I don't know. It's fairly thin. And it handles pretty decently. If you saw a picture I posted on, I guess, Instagram and my Facebook group. When I first got them, I pulled them out and I fanned them. And they fanned very nicely. And now they're clumping a teeny bit, which is to be expected with an older deck. But in my opinion, this was an awesome find. The best find I've ever found at a local thrift store. Probably will always be the best find ever. And I mean, what a deal. 75 cents a buck. Whatever it was I paid for it. I felt like I was robbing them. I felt like I robbed Salvation Army. Like I should have given them like 10 bucks at least. Because this, you know, you'll see these on eBay. And it may be sealed. The more money, but I mean, like a couple $100. $100, $200 probably for a sealed deck. Maybe even an open deck. They're just pretty hard to come by. And I happened to find one. And like I said, it was just a whole bunch of coincidence. Had I not gotten a thing in my eye, I would not have gone to the clinic. Had I not gone to the clinic, I would not have forgotten my card. Even if I had not forgotten my card, I would not have ended up at Salvation Army and I would have missed this deck. Somebody else who doesn't care about playing cards would have ended up with this deck and then it would have ended up in the dump at some point in time. So, to get this deck, I had to get something in my eye. I had to go to the clinic, which I almost didn't go that day. And then I ended up having to forget my health card to go back and get it. And then I ended up going to the thrift stores. It's a weird sort of circumstances that led me to this deck. But damn, I'm glad I got it. So that is that. Comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I'll see you next time with more. Thanks for watching.